well right now I am at the Gettysburg Museum of History. Been out here for the past few days doing some work for the American Artifact series. And the whole time that I've been here, well, these boxes keep showing up to the museum. So if there's a box that shows up, well, naturally, we got to do an unboxing. So we're going to see some of the newest stuff that has arrived here at the Gettysburg Museum of History.
As JD said, more boxes arrived, so I guess that's the signal to do an unboxing video backed by popular demand. We have some items coming in. Of course, I usually know about what's coming in. Once in a while, there's a complete surprise. But we're going to start with this one. And I always want to say, you know, we have two kind of parts of the museum. We have the actual exhibit part where we get items for exhibition at the museum, and then we have a military antiques business where we sometimes buy items just to resell them to raise money to buy the items that we buy for the exhibit. So we're going to start with this one. Get out the old Fallschirmjäger knife and cut into this and see what arrived today. Always like to use my Fallschirmjäger knife. It's kind of become a trademark. All right, so it looks like there's a lot of stuff. Now this is not, this is a repurposed box, obviously. And this is not dry ice, I hope. Looks like it's from Farmer's Dog, which gives me an indication of who this came from. So, wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay. Start with something small. Let's see what this is. Starting with something really interesting. So this is a lemon squeezer. You put a sliced piece of lemon in here and you squeeze it, and the juice, I guess, runs out the front there. Lemon press, but it has an interesting little monogram on here. There's an eagle and an A and an H. So that's an Adolf Hitler formal tea service set lemon press. Pretty rare item. I mean, I've only ever seen a handful of these. It's one of the, I believe, one of the rarest pieces from the tea set. So that's a really interesting piece. Let's see what else we got here. Looks like we have a helmet. This is from our collection, or our connection from former Russian collection. Wow, that's a pretty good double decal Model 35 SS Snowcam helmet.
Oh my gosh.
And that was recovered in Eastern Europe or Russia, and it still has the liner in it. It's a little caked up, but this is in really good shape for a relic helmet. Now this was probably excavated a while ago, but we've talked about these before, and they have, in certain areas, they have clay soil, which helps with the preservation of these. We've been able to buy some out of an old collection. It also is named here, which is pretty cool. It's always nice to see a name on those, but yeah, it's in pretty remarkable condition. Wow, this is even better than the one in my collection, so now I'm gonna have to decide what to do with this, if I keep that one or the one that's currently in our collection. And it looks like another helmet from, looks like the same collection. This looks like a model, this is gonna be a Model 42, looks like, SS helmet with some severe battle damage. Wow. Yeah, that guy took a hit. It's got the single decal on there, so this is a later version, model 42. No liner, again from that same collection, but unfortunately the soil conditions didn't preserve this quite as well. And if someone was wearing this when this happened, of course, his head would have been destroyed. And a lot of times helmets like this, if there's blood inside the liner, the leather liner, it deteriorates it even quicker than normal. So a lot of times we call them killed in action helmets because the liners are blood stained. They fall apart quicker. There's like acidic qualities in the human blood. But wow, two really nice helmets. And looks like there's something at the bottom here. I'm gonna move this out of the way. The farmer's dog box, and this is a banner. And this is a pretty fancy banner. I saw pictures of this. It's made out of velvet, and this would be one that would be in either the Chancellery or one of the major buildings. Holding it upside down, so turn it the right way up. And it's a high quality banner made of velvet and metallic threads. Again, this would probably be like a window tapestry or something like that. An indoor banner, of course. You wouldn't want to have that hanging outside, but it's a very high quality, unique piece. I don't know if I've ever had one of this exact design before. So unfortunately, I wish we knew what building it came out of. Unfortunately, the history of where exactly it was obtained has been lost over the years. Back in the old days, it didn't really matter. People bought this stuff and sold this stuff just as items. Now it's become a lot more important historically to have the exact location of where it was recovered. But again, these items will go on the website unless I decide to keep this helmet. We have a lemon press in our collection already. Not quite as nice as this. I may end up keeping this one and selling the other one. I don't know. We have a banner, not exactly like this, but similar to it, so we'll probably end up selling this as well. Again, these items were sent to me by one of our close associates for resale. They asked me to sell them for him, and of course he always gives me first choice. So if there's something here I want to buy for the museum, I get first crack at it. If not, we put it on the website. They'll give me a small commission, and I'll sell those items for him, and that small commission will go to raise money for the museum. Okay, so now we're on to this box, which is something that we obtained for the museum. And we've said in other videos that we're starting to get more into Vietnam and some of the later conflicts. So we've been trying to look for items, good items from Vietnam and some of the other conflicts. But this guy has a big, I don't want to give away what's in here, but this is an item that I think is really interesting and very cool. It came from another museum actually originally, but here we see a general's hat. Now, so this is a uniform grouping from the Vietnam era that belonged to Major General John Norton. Now, he is really famous for developing helicopter warfare and air assault warfare during the Vietnam War. But he has a connection to World War II. He is a West Point graduate, and he originally was assigned to the 4th Infantry, but then he went into the 82nd Airborne. So he was in the 82nd Airborne during World War II, and I think he was in the 505th Regiment of the 82nd Airborne. So he has a really good World War II connection as well. But these are his Vietnam jungle boots. And like I said, this was obtained from another museum through a dealer. But these are the nice Vietnam-style jungle boots. And also has his uniform. And here's a sign. I guess this came from the museum, but U.S. Army Major General John Norton. And during the Vietnam War, he was in the 1st Cavalry Division. And of course, they did a lot of pioneering warfare with attack helicopters and in general air assault type warfare. Get the knife out here. So yeah, I haven't seen this whole thing in its entirety yet, so this will be very cool. So we got, not sure what that is, page 117. I don't know if that's something from the museum. Here's a photo of him. And it looks like that's later. He's a looks like 4-star general here. So this would have been maybe, that picture's after Vietnam. Here's his name tag. And this is his uniform. And it looks like it's Vietnam style jungle fatigues, which is really what we were kind of after for this display with Vietnam items. Yeah, here it is. So this is when he was a major general, and it looks like the patch on his left sleeve is the 1st Cavalry Division, and doesn't have anything on the right sleeve. And then you can see his awards here. He had the Master Paratrooper Wings, a Combat Infantryman's Badge, and Aviation Wings. But he actually donated this uniform to another museum out in California that has unfortunately closed its doors. So it was placed placed in the collector's market, and we were able to obtain this for the museum. So we're really happy to get it. It's going to go in the new museum. It's going to be part of our Vietnam display, and I like the connection between the 82nd Airborne, which were very interested in World War II airborne warfare, and the 1st Air Cav Division and the Vietnam Air Cavalry warfare.